Now that it's cold out, it makes sense to make some changes to your skincare routine because you know what? Everyone's skin gets dry. But if you can only make one change, I suggest getting a perfect moisturizer. If you're new to my channel, my name is Susan Yara. I have been in the beauty industry for 2 decades and I love skincare. So today I want to talk to you about moisturizers specifically for dry skin. So obviously if you have dry skin, you're always on the hunt for a perfect, rich, creamy moisturizer, but I really think that people with all skin types should find a really nice, rich moisturizer, especially during the winter time, because you need that protection. Your moisturizer is not just locking in all of the benefits that you get from the other products and hydrators and everything that you're using, but you need actual protection for your skin. And one of the reasons during the winter specifically is because the air gets cooler, it gets drier, and a lot of us are blasting heaters in the house. So if you combine all of that, it's really a recipe for your skin to just dry out. This is that time of year when the conversation about the skin barrier seems to like pick up online. And it's because people don't realize that they're not moisturizing their skin enough, and it's causing a whole host of other issues. Even if you're a person who is acne prone, you want to find the right moisturizer for your skin, because if you're losing all of those lipids in your skin and you're just drying your skin out, your skin then overcompensates. And you guys have heard me talk about this before. Your skin overcompensates, it creates even more oil, you look like you're greasier, your skin starts to freak out a little bit because it's trying to regulate itself, and you just end up with a whole host of skin issues. And one of the biggest issues really is that you get a damaged skin barrier. So your skin is just much more sensitive than it normally would be. So I'm gonna take you through a few moisturizers that I just absolutely love for the wintertime, that I love just year round really, but these are moisturizers that in my list, they'll progressively get a little bit thicker, but I really do think that all skin types can use these. All right, so moisturizer number 1 is this by Roche Posay. This is their Toleriane Ultra Soothing Repair Moisturizer. I have spoken about this several times before, so this is not a new moisturizer for me to talk about. The reason why I constantly bring this one up is because if you are noticing that your skin is getting a little bit drier and it's starting to already feel a little bit irritated, like you put anything on that you've even used before and it starts to feel like it, like tingles a little bit, or it's like a little bit burny is what I hear people say, then you might want to switch to something like this because it's very straightforward as far as the ingredients go. It has the Roche Posay Thermal Spring Water, which is just really soothing for the skin. It's very rich in antioxidants and minerals. There are also other ingredients in here that are meant to just soothe irritated skin and sensitive skin. So this is a line that's actually targeted towards people with sensitive skin. There's shea butter in here. It's all about the formulation and how this product is made that makes it so nice because it doesn't feel too rich and occlusive. So I really do think anybody that uses this, I've never heard anyone complain about it being too rich for their skin. And I mean like every person with every type of skin. Whenever I recommend this, they like it. And then the other reason why I just love this moisturizer is because it's preservative free. I am not a person who thinks that we shouldn't have preservatives. I am all about preservatives in your skincare products. You need them to keep your skincare products safe. But if you do have sensitive skin or your skin is feeling irritated, sometimes preservatives can be a little bit irritating. They just give that tingly feeling sometimes. So this is preservative free, and the reason that they're able to do that is because they have this special packaging that is completely airtight. So essentially the packaging acts as the preservative instead of an actual ingredient. So that's why this one is so nice. This one is also fragrance free. So truly, if you have sensitive skin or irritated skin, this is such a good moisturizer for you. Next up, another moisturizer that I constantly talk about. This is by Biossance. It's their Squalane Plus Omega Repair Cream. I love this one because it's a little bit richer, but I still think all skin types can use it. It has squalane as one of the main ingredients. I'm a huge fan of squalane. I really just think that your skin loves it. It doesn't matter what your skin type is. It is skin identical, meaning that your skin recognizes it as an ingredient that it needs and actually makes for itself. This is also just rich in omega fatty acids. And if you think about your skin barrier, again, during the winter time, if your skin gets dry, your skin barrier starts to get a little bit more damaged. So you want to replace all the fatty acids and lipids in your skin to just make sure that your skin is smooth. As we age, our lipids in our skin that we produce naturally just start to deplete. So we end up getting drier skin, we get duller looking skin, and you want to make sure that you're using a moisturizer that's just going to help bring all of that back to life. This one is kind of like a hybrid creamy and lotion texture. It feels like a hydrating texture as it starts to absorb into your skin, and that's what I love about it. It feels almost like it's refreshing. This one is also just really soothing and hydrating for me. So when I apply this one, I feel like I get just plumper looking skin. This is the kind of moisturizer that I feel like people would really like underneath their makeup too, because it is nice and rich, but it doesn't sit on the top layer of the skin. It just absorbs really beautifully and it feels just really good. Like you can use it morning and night and you'll really like it. If you have oily skin, you can actually reserve it for just nighttime usage and you'll feel like you wake up with much plumper looking skin. I have noticed that some people, like in my private Facebook group, they'll say it has a little bit of a weird smell to it, almost like a fishy smell. And the reason for that is because it's fragrance free. So whatever is in the product, that's what it just naturally smells like. And for all of you that want fragrance-free products, that's what you have to deal with, is that there are sometimes ingredients that will make your product not smell like the most beautiful product. But if you want it to be fragrance-free, then that's what you get. Next up, I actually want to show it as a set because during the winter time, this is how I want you guys buying these two creams. This is from my brand. This is NATURIUM Plant Ceramide Rich Moisture Cream and our Intense Overnight Sleeping Cream. I've really been into this idea of double moisture at night. And what I mean by that is you are putting on your moisturizer, but then you are even more so locking it in and like protecting your moisturizer with another layer of moisture. So you're putting on your moisturizer, your cream first, and then you're putting on your sleeping cream, which is basically a sleeping mask. The Rich Cream is, honestly, it's like my dream moisturizer because I have naturally dry skin, and as I get older and older, I get drier skin. This is rich in ceramides and phospholipids that are just great for replenishing your skin barrier, your natural moisture barrier. And that's what this does. You know, I made this moisturizer to be basically a replacement for all of the super fancy, luxurious moisturizers out there that are just overpriced. This is what this cream is. It is your nice, beautiful, rich cream. When you first apply this, it just feels nice and creamy on your skin. And as you wear it a little bit longer, it absorbs so beautifully into your skin. I love to wear this under makeup too. So this is my, like, obviously my go-to moisturizer. And this is one that if you have really dry skin and you need some help to replenish your skin, you go with this. But let's talk about the sleeping cream because I feel like this sleeping cream is kind of like, it's starting to have like a cult following to it. And the reason for that is because every skin type truly can use this. We recommend using it like 2 to 3 times a week. I now use it like 4 to 5 times a week because it has gotten colder outside. Like I said, you put on your moisturizer and then you pull this out and you can see it's got this like pillowy texture to it. The textures are completely different. This has more of like a bouncy, pillowy marshmallow feel to it. And it does leave a little bit of a layer on your skin when you first apply it. But then when you wake up in the morning, you feel like it's just all absorbed and you feel like your skin truly is so hydrated, so moisturized, and so plump and just pillowy. I don't know, it's the most amazing cream. I go through this all the time because it's beautiful. And you know, for all of the people that are curious about things like slugging, for instance, to me, this is a much more elegant formula to use than having something that's so occlusive like petrolatum. This is also really rich in plant squalane. It has cockadoo plum in it, which is just really brightening and strengthening for the skin because it's a nice antioxidant. It's vitamin C. So you'll see that these have completely different textures too. If you look at this, this is the Rich Cream. It goes on and it is really nice and creamy, but you can see it absorbs into the skin as you warm it. And it's just so nice and replenishing for the skin. But then you go in with this and it's just a little bit more pillowy. So you'll see it leaves a little bit of a layer on your skin, but it will absorb by the time you wake up in the morning. You want it to have a little bit of a layer. It's the whole point of it, it's a mask. And also they're both fragrance free, so anyone who is sensitive to fragrances, you don't have to worry about it. All right, so the next 2 moisturizers I'm gonna talk about have peptides in them, which is very interesting to me. It's something that I have been really focused on, even maybe in my own line, I'm starting to look at peptides a lot more. And the reason for that is because there are so many different types of peptides, but they're very hydrating to the skin. They can be very reparative to the skin. They're also there for anti-aging benefits, but I also think they just help elevate moisturizers. All the peptide moisturizers that I try, I always end up liking them because they just feel so bouncy and nice. This one from Charlotte Tilbury is the only one that has a fragrance from all of the moisturizers I'm gonna show you today. I pulled this one out because I know people want to feel fancy, so I hear people all the time ask me, like, of all the luxury skincare lines, which are your favorite of the moisturizers? Is it La Mer? And don't get me wrong, I like a jar of La Mer. I like to feel really fancy and use a fancy jar of La Mer, knowing that it's not that much better than other moisturizers. So I understand the need to want to be fancy, and I understand that sometimes you want to buy like a gift or something that feels a little bit fancier. One of the moisturizers I recommend is this one from Charlotte Tilbury. It is a beautiful, beautiful formula. It has this lovely floral scent to it. It has hyaluronic acid in it, so it's very hydrating to the skin. It has vitamin C, vitamin E, so it's so creamy. It's almost like how my sleeping cream has that pillowy marshmallow texture to it, but it's going to absorb into the skin quicker because it's not a mask. So you put it on, and I love this scent. As it starts to absorb into your skin, similar to the Biossance, it starts to feel like it's a light liquid texture almost, so it feels very refreshing to the skin. It absorbs nicely. The reason why this stands out to me a lot from some of the luxury moisturizers is because it feels beautiful underneath makeup as well. And I think that it's because it has shea butter in it, which is a very typical kind of moisturizer that you find in these kinds of creams. It has lots of different oils in it, but then it has the peptides in it too. And the combination of all of these ingredients really just makes it feel beautiful underneath makeup. So if you have dry skin and you don't like the way that your makeup looks as it's settling onto your skin, specifically your foundation and your concealer, then you need a moisturizer like this that's gonna really just set the tone. It's gonna be that base or like that primer for your makeup. This one is the one that I think is just great for all skin types. I'm gonna talk about the next one too, that I think is also just wonderful underneath makeup. But this one I think is for all skin types, and it has those peptides in it that just makes it feel like it feels like you've almost got this airbrushed feel to your skin as it's absorbing, and it just looks beautiful. I love this magic cream. This is one that I tend to use more so during the day. And last of the moisturizers I recommend is this Skinfix Barrier Plus Lipid-Peptide cream. This has become one of my new favorite moisturizers. The reason why I love this cream is because it is rich in lipids, so it has a lipid complex in it, and like I was saying earlier, you want to make sure you are replacing the lipids that are getting depleted as you age, and it's really hard to find the right moisturizers that can do that. This one feels like it's reparative because it has all those different lipids in it, and it feels a little bit richer to me, but absorbs into the skin. This also has peptides in it that are there to support your moisture barrier, so the combination feels like they're just working really well together. I use this underneath my makeup all the time, and it doesn't feel like it's heavy on top of my skin at all. My makeup sits on it beautifully. It's a wonderful, beautiful moisturizer, and I think that if you haven't tried this, you're going to love this one because it's just so nice. This is like the airless kind of pump to it, but it's still in a jar. So you just press the top of it, and it gives you this nice creamy layer. Look at that. I think most skin types can use this, but you can see, look how rich and creamy this is. And I think it's because it has that combination of the lipids and the peptides in it. So this is really your restorative, replenishing moisturizer. Like, this is the one where it's like the SOS, like you really need some help for your skin barrier. This is the moisturizer that you're gonna go for. So those are just a few of my favorite moisturizers. Moisturizers are a category that I can just talk about endlessly, and I love trying different moisturizers. Just like, you know, cleansers are also another category in skincare that I just love trying out all the time because you see the results immediately. You can see and feel if you like it right away. I can talk about moisturizers all the time, but these are probably the moisturizers that I recommend the most and that I tend to use on myself the most too. If you guys have any recommendations, you can obviously tell me in the comments below. You can find me in our private Facebook group where a lot of skin enthusiasts like you are in there talking about all of their favorite skincare products and asking questions, and obviously sharing about other beauty topics as well. I am on Instagram at Susan Yara, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.